Did it work? Did it work? Did it work? It had to have worked. Always got to make the confirmation. Hold on. Wait. Yes, it did. All right. Hey, 2 for 2. You believe in miracles? It's Olympic season. Yeah, right. Olympic time. So you believe in miracles? Yeah. 2 for 2. I got the chat pulled up. What's up? I got Motorbomb Virginia, Ben, American Outlaw. What's up, everybody? Everyone. Yeah, I'm doing good. I hope everybody's doing good. This is episode 2. Good Lord. Yeah, waiting on spring. Me too. There's Motorbomb, my neighbor, a couple cities away, but we had a couple days. I saw my first other motorcyclist out today, and I'll get into that in a little bit. But their snow is still on the side of the road, just that where it's just cased over in ice essentially. But we had back-to-back 50-degree days, so that was top notch right there. So that's probably me bragging to most of the country. Ben, except for Ben's like 50 degrees. He's like 120 Fahrenheit. Early for a change, yeah, Ben. No, I got you. That's awesome. Thank y'all for showing up, man. Episode 2. Let's go. Let's see. Make sure I don't. Is that the end of the chat? I just make sure I get. I probably just messed everything up. Nope, didn't. Okay, good. Yeah, one day, Motorbomb for real. Yeah, we're gonna ride. I don't know where we're gonna go. We're gonna go wherever we go. It's gonna be riddled in traffic cones and bad drivers. You know, that's the only thing. And cheers to everybody but American Outlaw. I guess there's not a Gatorade. No disrespect. A bit parched over here. Loving the summer over here. Yeah, that's a funny thing about, and the awesome thing about like having people spread out across, obviously the diversity as far as, you know, people's logic, and even as crazy as it is for me to wrap my head around watching some of you more not northern, southern hemisphere or across the pond, Swingless Steve, and or any island or whatever, and it's like the riding on the opposite side of the road. So Australia, it's weird to me still seeing like you'll make a turn on one of your 3-hour long moto vlogs, and you'll make a turn, and I'm watching it and I'm like, oh no, and I'm like, oh yeah, never mind, he's cool, he's good. So that South Osmoto, TC, TC Garage, and Indian Crusader, well, there's the Australians, but I watch them and I'm like, it throws me for a loop. But South Oz, he does a lot of off-road stuff too. So where he goes, there is no road. There is no paved road. Let's see. In North Dakota, motorcycles out there too? You have like -degree temperatures. Fire's freezing where you live there, American Outlaw. So that's something. They got me beat on that one. But yeah, definitely. We'll ride one day, Motorbomb. I mean, maybe this summer. Maybe that'd be pretty sweet. I don't drink coffee, but I'll bring a Monster. So yeah, it's cool, man. I got the chat pulled up in 2 places. I tell you what, it took me, I said it last episode, it took me about almost a dozen on the other channel, the other dimension. And I finally think I've got it down. And one thing that's cool about OBS is I found out that you can use different, what do they call them, profiles here. So there's a profile for this channel, so I can just isolate everything I do. My scenes and everything can be just here. Scene collection can just be here. And another channel, YouTube channel, I can have a whole different setup and not have to worry about mixing the two. So that's awesome. But I hope everybody's doing well. Boo, not a Gatorade. One day, yeah. Take the construction route. There you go, Motorbomb. That's exactly right. I want you to feel at home. So yeah, and you watch Swingless. Yeah, he's the last couple things he's posted. He's been taking public transportation because the roads are so bad. So he's been taking the bus. But I mean, snow's cool, especially where we live in Virginia. It doesn't snow very often. We got the last, I guess, two winters, or maybe I'm skipping one in between. But we got some snow. I think we got like 12 or 13 inches in my area, it shuts the place down. But for the most part, a lot of times when it snows, it either doesn't stick or it's just a dusting, and the next day it's gone, you know, so. But we've been getting some snow for sure that this winter. This has been different. So But it's I like when it's there, and within a couple days later, it's gone. So I mean, it's been off the road for a while. So I haven't had to worry about that. We've been getting rain, no freezing rain, no nothing like that. Which a lot of the country got my last 3 weeks ago when I was talking. I was a meteorologist, but yeah, yeah, the monsters are great for rides. Yeah, and keep you awake, right? But no, I don't even think they do anything for me at this rate. I think I drink them because of the flavor, the taste. But let's see. Oh, and you got another Gatorade friend. Yeah, enjoy it, Ben. No, no rush, no rush. But that's thank you. I love when I forget about something and then when you will remind me, jog my memory. So I was talking about the awesome thing, and not just the opposite side of the roads, but the diversity on it is like all different backgrounds, and especially like the environment, the weather. So while we were getting inundated with cold weather and snow, and not the best riding weather here in the States, Canada, Moto Alley, right? Go back up there, spoke in the eye. But the Canadians, but also having to be able to watch other people where they're talking about how it's like 100 plus degrees Fahrenheit. Fahrenheit. Oh, I said it weird. Anyway, but it's cool to see. So there's always something to kind of like have fun with, and I try to do. I mentioned before, it's whatever. It's known probably at this point, but I ride year round because I just try to take advantage of it, and we don't have the brutal cold. It's cold, but to get on the bike for 20 minutes. Yeah, my hands hurt today. I'll get into that today. I rode around for about 45 minutes, and my hands were hurting pretty bad by the time I came back. I had my regular riding gloves. I didn't have like the winter gloves on or anything like that because it was like 54 today or something, somewhere around there, 50 something degrees. And then it dropped down. I think it's probably, what is it now? I could say 42 degrees. But anyway, sun's down too, so it's whatever. But just to be able to see like summer months, and then when we get into it, it ties people over, until they can get to ride or whatever, potentially. I know some people get like, they're like, oh man, I can't get into it. I can't get into it because it drives me crazy. I want to ride. I don't want to watch other people ride. So there's a difference of opinion there. But to me, I enjoy it. I like it a lot. I'm a big fan of being able to see other people, and it's cool too because yeah, we got the cold weather now, and anybody in Florida is like, yeah, man, it's cold. It's 65 degrees or whatever. It got down to 60, but we're in the cold weather now. But then we'll get into the warmer weather. Right, spring's right around the corner. Summertime, we'll be complaining about how hot it is and all that stuff, and not us, but like people in general, which I always thought it was funny because like that's what the summer does. It gets hot, so they'll go in there and start complaining how hot it is when I'm working in the fire department, and I'll be coming in there sweating 3 calls in a row or something, picking up somebody off the ground and doing all this whatever, working outside, and then they're like, oh, it's hot out here, and it's like, yeah, like it's summer. That's what it does. Look at your calendar, but we'll get there, and then they just do that transition back to winter for all the people that are enjoying their summer. So to me, that's another weird thing, is like Christmas in the summertime for y'all, spring, summer is like, it's weird to me. Let's catch up real quick here. So I got 100 plus degree Fahrenheit. And that's what you're saying. Ben was talking about like 110 or something like that in the shade, or over 100 degrees in the shade. I'm like, eesh. But what do they say when you get older? They say, it's not the heat that gets you, it's the humidity. And they're like, yeah. That's why, like, a quick tangent, like in the academy, they were, my side of the academy, we went through the fire side, or fire school. It was the EMS first, and then it was the fire side, and we went through that in like August. It was like July and August, but by the time we did that, so it was like the heat of the summer. And they're like, if you can't take the, and turnout gear and all that stuff, if you can't take this heat, it's 98 degrees. If you can't hack this, how are you going to hack 1,000-degree, attic fire or something like that or whatever. And then when you find out like later on that like humidity is way different. I mean, heat, you go to the burn buildings and you go into burn, like an actual burning building, or you go to the training, being on the burn team, so I'm accustomed to like going to the same building and the sensors going off and how I have to, cool the fire because it gets over a certain amount of degrees and stuff like that. And it's like, it's warm, you feel it, but it doesn't zap your energy like humidity. So that's the one thing. So anytime, like, I don't correct them because I mean they're trying to prove a point, obviously, but when the instructors or something will say something about the if you can't take this, it's 85 degrees out here, how are you hot? And it's like, man, it's not the same. It is not the same. I promise you on that. All right. And that's has a lot to do with the turnout gear that we have. We have where I work, they get us really, really good stuff. They're really like top of line stuff when it comes down to from our face piece, our SCBA to the turnout gear. So if you start feeling heat and the sting of heat and burning and start blistering up potentially, you've actually got to the point where your gear's failing at that point. But that's a different topic. All right, back to motorcycle stuff. And we'll dive into all this good stuff. Hit the mid 130s. Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's not here. No. We have like our humidity's bad, but we'll have triple digits for a little bit in July, August. We'll have like a bad week, but it's not like 130. Las Vegas, most of y'all obviously know where that is, but being Las Vegas, if you're not, that's a party. If you know about United States, New York City, LA, like Hollywood, and you probably have heard of Las Vegas, but I've been to Vegas twice and it's been like over 100 degrees and I sweat. I can sweat. The joke is like, I heard it from one guy and I steal this or I borrow it from him since I'm telling you I didn't make it up. But he said he could sweat in the pool. That's me. So I go to Vegas and the temperature is like 98, 102, whatever. And I have like literally like just one bead of sweat and that's it. Everything else is fine because the humidity out there is like, it's like you're under a heat lamp, but not like you feel the heat, but it doesn't like just completely like you step out and then you completely just drenched here in Virginia. It seems like sometimes, at least me. So I'll take heat over the cold anytime. Me too, man. American Outlaw, like for real. I got to the point I used to, not that it's good, but I used to be able to ride. I would ride in a t-shirt and I don't know, I was just getting older. I guess that's what it is. Obviously, well, that is what it is. But I would ride in a t-shirt. It'd be 60 degrees and it'd be nothing. It would just feel good. And now like 65, I got to have a sweatshirt on. I got to have a hoodie. I mean, so I keep saying sweatshirt. I don't wear sweatshirts. Hoodies are so much cooler, aren't they? Always dress up for the cold, but I don't know which one to choose. Laugh aloud. Depends on if I'm hot or cold. So I started getting maybe a little too much information, but I started taking that's what I do. From January 8th last year, all the way up into like in the middle of December. And I wasn't trying to prove a point. I wasn't trying to go a year, but we did this thing where so I'm on the burn team and I'm on the Mayday team, the Mayday cadre. And we had to do something about like, how do you stress somebody out? Because like practicing a Mayday, calling a Mayday like a downed firefighter, and we have a certain way to do it now, or we've had a certain way, but we've essentially made it better when it comes to like radio traffic and stuff like that. And so we've improved on that. But how do you simulate a stressful situation, especially somebody that's been in for more than me, 25 years. So how do you simulate a stressful situation where you had to call a Mayday and all the other stuff? So what they did is what they came up with. One of the guys, the captain, he came up with like an ice bath. So this is going somewhere, I promise. So we went and we had a class and we just pretty much like, hey, bring a bathing suit, dunk in there, call a Mayday. Then it was like, control your breathing, which ties into another committee, which they don't have a name for. It's a mental health performance. And I said I wasn't going to do any more teams. And literally I was like, all right, this is the last one. This is for real. This is it. So, and this one's cool. That's a whole different topic. I'm not going to get into that, but it ties into that now. It's like breathing techniques and calming yourself down and everything. And ever since then, I realized like I have a superpower. I can I jumped in there and it didn't affect me. Like this ice cold bath, and It's high 30s, low 40s, I'm sure. You know, I was one of the first ones to go, like, to volunteer. I think I was like second or third, and then just did it because I was like, well, let me see. I've never done it before. I want to see what it's like. You know, it was all the rage, right? So I dunk in there, and my voice is different, but like my cognitive thinking, I'm not freaking out and all the other stuff. So I delivered the Mayday, did a couple breaths, calm down. You know, now do it again, call another Mayday. And it was infinitely better. Like, it was the same cadence, but my tone was better. It was more calm. And that was just based on like the shock, whether I wasn't like here, it was just physically, I guess it felt like it. So it was really cool. I tell you that story because after that day, I took cold showers. I took cold showers, not even like halfway on the turn. And that, like, I got through summer. I told you I sweat. I got through summer where I'd get out feeling ice cold, get dressed, go outside, do whatever I need to do, travel down, you know, whatever. And like my back wouldn't even be hot from like the my old truck, you know, with no AC or shoddy AC. My back would be like sweaty or something, or hot or warm or whatever. And I was just cool for longer, and it was great. So I just now, the last, well, 2 months now, I've gotten back to hot showers. So I think I'm going to flip flop, man. I'm going to do that. But anyway, that's a way to combat. I don't know. Went on a tangent. There it is. So I took cold showers for almost a year after that. Yeah. But, you're good. You're good, Motorbomb. He was definitely a winner for me. Yeah. So, I'm just down to the point where I'd just rather be hot. I'd rather be hot. Especially riding, because I've not ridden somewhere far enough to where I'd be concerned about like being dehydrated or like sunscreen. South Hollis Moto and Indian Crusader, they take their trips and they're like covered in sunscreen, and they have to, obviously, for obvious reasons, especially that heat. Ben's talking about all that heat that they got there, that blistering sun, and there's not a lot of shade, and in places that they go, there's not a lot of cover, you know, to produce that shade. So it's like a no-brainer. But they'll have like just white completely here, and I have a full face helmet, but still, you know, arms exposed or whatever. And you know, one of these days I'll wise up and get an actual riding jacket, which I'm going to. I still haven't, because we got all the snow and other stuff came up, but I'm still planning on going to the, what did I call it? Cycle gear. I'm pretty sure that's what it's called. I want to call it Cycle World, but it's Cycle Gear. Can't even say it. Terrible advertiser. But I want to go there and get my battery, because I want to get it in person, and just an excuse to go out. I could have had it mailed to my house, you know, 10 times over, but I want to go there because I want to check, see what they have. Or look at potentially getting a new helmet, and then look at the riding jackets and stuff like that. So, and then maybe some gloves, because I'm there. But that's a video there. I'll probably just change out the battery. But today's ride, I'll get into that in a little bit now. Today's ride, I was like on the ball. I'm a night owl. I flip flop schedules. We can kind of go. Part of this is let me go over this. I'll show you what I'm talking about. This is like the very first thing. Pop. Oh, I'm still here. I didn't know if I was going to be there. All right, so this is what we're going to go over today. I'm going to kind of blend this story together. So the first thing, 2 doors closing, highlights in quotes, because what are highlights to me, right? No commentary, which is going to be difficult. GoPro versus Insta 360 fight, and podcast, which there's 2. But anyway, podcast. So... let's see. So one of the doors that's closing it's sad to say, but my vacation is over. It's officially over on Friday. Today's Wednesday, so it's officially over on Friday. I go back to work. First day back on the medic. Got to be back on the medic. Sunday, I think I'm on the engine. I should be driving the engine, but we'll see. So do your medic day, stay up all night, you know, whatever. Welcome back, right? Much deserving, as long as I've been off. I've been off for a month. And so that's one door that's closing. Tomorrow, I'm actually working overtime. It's we're doing some in-service. That's the Mayday team. So my official vacation is over to Friday, but I've been doing odd jobs throughout the month, so I haven't been off completely. I've been doing media team stuff, and Mayday is tomorrow. So, yeah. back to work. Yeah. I made that video, the last video, not the highlights video, but the last video about the motovlogger that ended up, um, well, it seemed like she was very stressed out about it. So I guess I'll go back to work. YouTube didn't pay me the big bucks, right? But yeah, I can't imagine. That's a side note, like side tangent. Like YouTube, everybody here is pretty much, we've all discussed it. But I used to think that like I wanted to do this full time. And I've talked to Moto Alley about this. And I used to think that, and the more I see like what goes on, like, nah. So I'm perfectly fine. Like my goal still is to, I made a video on the other channel, the other dimension, but I made a video on there talking about how, like, you know, this would be awesome. My goal would to do this like once I retire, 9 years from now. Once I retire, you know, travel the country potentially and have YouTube supplement some of that cost. That's still on you know, on the table, and that would be awesome. I'm to the point where if YouTube paid, making videos paid for my memberships or subscriptions, and that would be that would be awesome, because I realized, like, man, I started paying and buying all these cameras and stuff like that. Yeah, you know, it's different. I think I'm done. I'm done now. I'm done. Not I think I'm done. I'm done. So what's up, TC? What up? What up, man? But there's another Australian. Gosh, I always call you TC because I had two wheels with TC, and I think you had TC Garage or something. I don't know. So I always just call you TC. But yeah, I don't know. So that's one door that's closing. The other one, I'll get into that right now, is I officially privated. I think I deleted them. All the firefighter videos that I had over there. Oh, voice cracks. So emotional. So emotionally tied to that. But no, so I got rid of my, I remember 3 weeks ago I was talking about it, and then just yesterday or the day before I went ahead and just got rid of them, because the last part on the podcast, I want to talk about that. So I want to go ahead and knock that out. But yeah, so vacation coming to an end. Please feel sorry for me after being off for a month. Making a ton of videos. I do like a photography channel. I started doing that, and it was so funny because I thought, funny to me, but I thought that I was going to do, my goal was to do 13 episodes. I was going to do, I'm on episode 18, I think here. 18? Yeah, not counting the highlight video, but I've got 18 videos here since November 19th, which is like double what I would have produced like the old scheduled way on the firefighter channel. And I was gonna, this photography channel, I wanted to do 13, so it wasn't like overwhelming, and it wasn't gonna like take away from this channel and all that stuff. And so I was like, all right, if I do one a month, do one intro video, and then do one a month, I'll be good. And then that way I can kind of see what that's like, you know, as far as, you know, doing two channels and stuff like that. I'm also doing, like, this is a whole side note. So no shorts on that channel. I'm not doing anything like that. Anti-shorts guy over here. But I made another channel for testing purposes. And it's pretty funny because it has nothing to do, like, I'm not in it. My voice, like, it's not me. Like, I'm literally just trying to see something that's like the least amount of friction. And I made something, which is hilarious. I'm not trying to like be cryptic about it, but I made something and used shorts on it. And I think it was like 3 or 4 days old and got 13 subscribers. And I'm like, dude, I'm telling you right now, I had to uncross my feet were crossed for a second. I am not doing shorts on this channel, but if you want to grow on YouTube, you just gotta do shorts. I mean, it is crazy. Yeah, all the videos are gone. TC. So I have them because I like to, when I make videos and I'm talking about a previous video or, you know, previous channel or something like that, I still like to go back and forth with them. And people that don't know me, that subscribe to Firemoto, only know Firemoto, those will be new, and those will be, you know, something. and I remember a lot of like those scenes and stuff like that, so I'm able to keep track of them. To nerd out a bit, I had Adobe Premiere Pro upgraded, and every time they upgrade, this is the second time I've had to rebuild my whole productions, which is like all basically a file cabinet of everything. So I tried to figure out how to do it, and I couldn't switch it over. So I'm literally like building my productions all over again, and 130 something episodes I got to put together and build that infrastructure out as far as that. So that's fun. Yeah. To me, it's actually kind of fun, but that makes me weird, I guess. But yeah, so they're gone, and it's not a big deal. I was holding them on, and like I said, my first post here was on the 19th after I stopped posting over there. I got a couple. YouTube. Well, I talked about last episode on the live, but Uber Eats got a lot of views and stuff, so I left them up just because it was like entertaining, and that was kind of one of my things. But now I want to like start taking maybe not full episodes. There's one episode that like I really want to port over because of how the beginning was and how important it is, and I may do it. And I'll have a disclaimer in the beginning. It'll say like, originally aired, blah, 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 last year. But I'm thinking about airing it like in the springtime when new writers like come around, because it talks about, it was a video I had about near misses and stuff like that. And man, it was like one of my favorite openings. And it's almost like we have this, and I could always redo it, but I think I don't really like to redo a video or, to do it a second time. It's different if it's like a different opinion, or if my thoughts of, I had that one video where it was like, why I ride solo, and then I changed it to how your comments changed my mind or changed my opinion or something or whatever. I made 2 different videos on that, and that's not the exact same video, so that's not a good analogy. But if I talk about like riding solo today versus riding solo that video that I did like 2 years ago, like where I'd be. And obviously riding with Lucky was, changes things, and that would be in this. So it's a difference of opinion and stuff. So I have an autofocus. So every time I can hear it, like finding. So every time I take a drink, it focuses on the can as it should. You can't ever see, this is like terrible, like placement. So you can't see it's a monster because I can't drink this way. I can, but I'll spill it all over myself. You drink it this way, and then all you see is all the chemicals in it. Terrible advertisement. I get a can in a can, like a Russian doll, and spin it around so that you can see it. Cut the top off. Anyway. Is that it? I guess that's it. Yeah. So I deleted those. I still have them, which is fine. Like I said, the reason why I don't want to delete, I mentioned this, the reason why I don't want to delete the channel is because like the comments I've left in y'all's videos are still there. And I think it's important to see, not my comments, but like if people stumble upon your videos, they can see dialogue back and forth and whatever, and get to know, not me, but get to know y'all and all that stuff. So, yeah, but yeah, they're gone. She gone. All right. Highlights. All right, let's go here. Let's switch back. Boom. It's me again. I think I can get, let's see, watch this. If I do this, yeah, boom, gone. Look at, there's no pressure. I've never looked so good in my life. Look at me. I'm not even on this. That's perfect. That's exactly, I look better this way. All right, so highlights. So this is something I did one time before. And let's see. So if I hit this, yeah, look, I'm back. Sorry. I love OBS. I love this thing. So the highlight video is, let's see. So if I do, why is it on that channel? Well, anyway, I'm looking at the command board over here, the command station. So I tried to do, so I love the lives. And at first what I did was on the other channel, the one I did 11 or 12 lives, Beyond the Ride. Yeah, I'm getting my terminology right. Beyond the Ride, episode 11, 12, whatever. I got to the point where I was able to Lost my train of thought. Stand by. I need like a screen that says like he's thinking of what he was going to say. Highlights. Nailed it. Good. I got it. I'm back. Mike, what's up, man? Let's see. So I got back to like focus. Got to focus here. Yeah, too much going on, right? Have a swig of Monster. I got to where I just do the lives for the people that are here, because originally I would do the lives, but I would try to like, I'd end up rushing myself. Surprise, right? Still, it was like 2 hour long, but I would rush myself in some of the conversations because I think that it was going off to the point where if you watch the playback, it was like, well, where is this going? Right. And then I realized, like, several episodes in, one, people don't watch the live again, and I don't blame them. Although I do have the playback king, Moto Alley. So Moto Alley watches it, and we have our conversation because he works nights. So he's working now. He pops in here and there, depending on his breaks and stuff like that, which is funny. But he's the I coined the phrase, like, he is the playback king. So that's one of his names. But in American Outlaws, Rascal, like, you've got different names now too. And Ben Gerard, he's Whiskers, since he's Whisker 74. That was his original name and stuff. But I was like, you know what am I'm in a way, I'm doing a disservice for those that are showing up for live. Not everybody has to show up, of course, like, that's not a thing, but excuse me, I need to make it to where, you know, if you're here, like, I want to give y'all the attention. And if somebody watches the playback, that's one thing. That's, you know, that's awesome. But the likelihood of anybody watching the playback was like 1. It was Moto Alley. So thanks, Moto Alley. That's so funny. I get a vid together. Oh, you're good. Motobomb, you're good, man. No worries, man. No, Motobomb, like, you do your thing. No worries at all. Yeah, no, like, I always say, like, I'm a terrible salesperson. Like, nobody has to be here. Like, I appreciate the support. I do greatly. Honestly, it means a lot to me. But like, you just popping in and saying hi, that's perfectly fine. That's no worries at all. So do what you got to do, man. And that goes with anybody. But I got to the point where I was like, well, you know what? Maybe I'll do like the last channel, the last dimension, the other dimension. I was like, I'll do a highlight video for those that don't want to sit through the live. And man, I turned 2 hours and 15 minutes, 2 hours, whatever the live was, because they would kind of run just over 2 hours. I changed it down. I cut it down dramatically. By the time I was done, it was 55 minutes, and I released it. And I was like, man, I don't know. I almost didn't release it. I was like, well, that doesn't really make sense. So I thought, and I only did it one time, because I was like, well, that doesn't really change much. It goes, you know, it cuts away some stuff. But if I was saying something, like, if you told me to count to 10, this is how I count. This is how I talk. American Outlaw can back me with this. I would count 1, 2, 3, and then I would start talking about, you know, the wall, like, you know, this is the color that, you know, that we painted it, but we're looking between 2 different colors. And I'd say, you know, whatever, 3, 4, 5. What was I talking about? And then I would go on to, like, you know, I was thinking about riding today and doing all this stuff. The weather's nice. Go back to work. 6, 7, 8. Then I'd probably go back to 5. Like, that's how I was answering these questions. So the highlight video that was condensed, I was trying to find a way to, like, so going back to, like, 2 doors closing. So I would leave that whole section in the highlight, and that's why it was 55 minutes instead of what I did this last go around. Is I changed 2 hours into 20 minutes, and I put up a bunch of goof ups and pretty much just, like, picked on myself for, like, probably 15 minutes, and it told actual stuff for 5 minutes. So the goal for the highlights was, if, you know, people don't necessarily want to sit through 2 hours. The people that do will, and the people that don't won't, and that's perfectly fine. But, and it's completely different being there live and being able to talk. And that's one of the best parts about live, is instead of going back and forth in the comment section or video to video between whoever makes the videos, basically a squirrel on crack. That's me. Thank you. That's exactly right. Basically, yeah. Count to 10. I can't. So it's not because I'm dumb. It's because I just physically can't stay focused enough, because there's so many other thoughts. Anyway, so don't get me going. So you're trying to get me going. So I went to the point where I was like, there's some stuff I talk about that these these topics aren't going to make videos. Most of them are not going to make videos. I'm not going to talk about vacation's over. You know, I might bring that up in like a sentence or two, but I'm not going to have a whole video about vacation's over. I'm not going to talk about how I deleted the old channel or deleted all the videos of the old channel necessarily. I might bring it up in a casual part of the conversation of a video, but it's not going to be its own entity. So people might miss that information, and not that it's a big deal, but that's just examples. So what I thought I would do is just give the Cliff Notes version best I can, the Cliff Notes version of the highlight of the live stream into the highlights. So I condensed it. I did it. It's still kind of longer than I wanted. I was hoping for like 10 minutes, but to be able to pick on myself enough, I had to get an extra 10 minutes. So it's 20 minutes long. I like it. It's pretty cool for me to go through it. The thing is, I want to put the chat in there too. Open books. Exactly. See, you're nice. You remembered. That's awesome. That's it. So good on you, Mike. Yeah, my open books, and then I'll come back to that later. So that's awesome. Very, very true. I hit the mic like a true professional. Not you, Mike. I hit the microphone. Anyway, moving on. So, I don't know. I don't know if it's worth anything, but to me, it's fun. And I wait. Oh, dog's sleeping behind me. I wait for like a week or so, because what happens is the live has to like upload or render or whatever. You can watch it as soon as I stop recording. You can watch the beginning, but the chat doesn't come in, doesn't embed itself until like several days later. So I have to wait a week or so, and then I screen record it, and then I pretty much do like the camera, and then I'll cut away and it'll show like the chat. So I think that's pretty cool. That way people can know, I guess, kind of context or whatever. Plus it's neat to see, you know, like other people can see, hey, so-and-so was in the chat and stuff like that. I don't know. To me, I think it's pretty neat. So I think that that's going to be a thing. At least it did it this last go around, and I'll do it again for sure. It's cool. It's fun. It's fun too, because another thing is, and I'll move on, I promise after this, I don't know what I'm talking about. Surprise. I'll do a motovlog, and I'll speak what I want to talk about, and by the time I get done, I'm like, man, did I talk about this? I don't know if anybody else is like that, but I'm like, did I say this? Oh, I think I forgot to say that. Did I say that? And especially when I come back, like, let's say I come back a week later, or if I do like 2 or 3, I want to get better at where I film like 2 or 3 out. But I went to my dad's and came back, and I filmed 3 videos, 2 on the way up and 1 on the way back. So my last 3 episodes were all tied to the same day, January 19th. And that last episode, actually, I'm covered in drywall dust, which is pretty funny. So I'm a little white powder all over me. Drywall, I promise. So anyway, so I'll watch the video, and I'll forget what I said. Now that it's been a week, I have no idea what I said. And I'll get to the point where I pause, and I'm like, in my head, I'm like, oh, I should say this. And I said that, you know, or, you know, start the conversation that way. So it's kind of funny. But these lives, like, I have no idea. By the time I get done, I'm like, yeah, I went over all these topics, because all the bullets are, you know, for me to look at, you know, 2 doors closed and highlights. But watching the playback and editing it, I realized exactly what I talked about. I'm a mess, I know, but it was cool. It was neat to do the highlight. So, in quotes, highlights, because I like to pick on myself, and it's very easy to do in these playbacks. All right, no commentary. Is it even possible, right? All right, so let me go back. Let me take you back to a time, a much simpler time, right before the pandemic. before all that. So 2016, 2017 for sure. Just before the summer, or maybe right about the summer, so springtime, somewhere around there. Started getting really into watching, pretty much 2017. Started watching a lot of motovlogs, motorcycle videos, reviews. There's a guy that I haven't seen him. I don't know if he still does it. His channel was SRK Cycles. I'm almost positive that's what it was. And I don't know why I've never mentioned him on this channel. But he was awesome. He was, I always talk about Blockhead. I talk about Shade Tree. I talk about Her Two Wheels. I talk about Do It With Dan. Um, is that it? And I always reference Lucky Ace's riding. He's the first one I watched an actual like Shadow, like motovlogger, the Honda Shadow. So, going back to reviews though, reviews of the bike was this guy, and I haven't watched him so long, I forgot his name, but SRK Cycles, he was a guy that owned used motorcycles. He had his own business. He was in Pennsylvania, Harrisonburg or somewhere. I know he moved his shop a couple places, so he's in Pennsylvania somewhere. Well, now people probably know him more so because he has a channel, Bikes and Beards, and that's been forever since I've seen it. But he will do like, he does like off the wall challenges. So like I watched Shade Tree, and he did like a Amazon, like cheapest Amazon cruiser, and he rode it across whatever. I've been watching another guy, I can't think of his name, but he does all kinds of stuff where he's in like Antarctica, or not Antarctica, sorry, he's in Alaska. Excuse me. And he's taking these like terrible rides from the southern portion of Alaska all the way to the northern, and he's in this like frozen, like it just like it's either frozen or it's mud, and he's like brings in his like change of oil for his break-in period, like in route. It's pitch black, you know, there's trucks on, there's all it is truckers on the road and him, and he's pretty much got like a dirt bike. It's not even a dirt bike. I mean, he gets a car tire and puts studs in, like it's wild, but he's awesome. And he's got a bunch of videos where he just like gets off the wall vehicles. So I've been watching him. That's tangent. SRK is still, oh, okay, it's still around. All right, Sean, that's exactly it. Yep, Sean for Bikes and Beards. Awesome. Yep. So SRK still around. Tennessee now. All right, cool. Yep. We'll watch the same stuff on YouTube. So he was like, he's one of like the OGs for me. And I really liked the beginning. He did his, Bible verses, and that was a thing that just wasn't, it was a thing that wasn't a thing. How about that? Back in, with YouTube and politics and religion, there's big separation, all that stuff. But it was just cool. He just did his own thing. Sound of his own, beat to the, what is that? Sound of this beat to the sound of his own drum. Is that right? Anyway, I'll just skip that. But he's real. He's just a real dude. And this is before Bikes and Beards. So I watched him do all these reviews and everything like that. Well, that was like the first, it was basically reviews on bikes. And this is what I love how I forget what I'm going to say. And I look over here and it's, oh yeah, no commentary. So good. It keeps me on task between y'all and my notes over here. All right. So where's all this go? Ben does rides. Paul's Motos In does rides. Limited commentary. Paul adds context of like where he is. For example, Ben does rides where he has a 360, and he's the only one that I see on here that like literally you can pick what viewpoint you want. You can't be on the right side of the road. You're on the wrong side of the road, Ben. But other than that, you can do a 360 of it, which is so cool. And he just does a ride, and I've got you chilling on a ride over here. Paul's Motors In's over here, and I'm editing and looking over here and seeing like sites. I'm in Australia at one point, and I'm back home in Virginia over here, which is pretty cool. And that's kind of the whole first part of the conversation here. Just about the diversity as far as location and weather and bikes that we ride in general. So it's a lot of cool, a lot of cool aspects with that. So what I was thinking is like full circle is I was thinking I have all these, like I have these GoPro, we'll just set a cover on it, but I have all these ND filters, neutral density. Yeah. Basically sunglasses for your lens, for your camera, stuff like that. And I have all these things. I've not used them. I've had them. I've got two different sets. I got one for the GoPro, the 10, the Hero 10, and one for the 13. I have potentially new audio that I'm going to look at as far as microphones that recording the audio. And I was like, man, I want to do like, I want to like promote the Honda Shadow. And I was watching these videos like people riding Honda Shadow reviews, Honda Shadow. You know, it was just a Shadow. It was, you know, they'd say what Lucky Aces does a good job when he talks about, he doesn't even talk, but he lists everything that's on the bike, whatever's new and stuff. And I don't know if I would probably do it in the description, but I kind of want to have just a video. I'm thinking like once a month, just a video of a 10-minute ride and like, no commentary. That's right. You heard it here. You heard it here first, right? No commentary where I don't say anything and I just ride for 10 minutes. And I want to do it in different locations of Hampton Roads. So whether it's Virginia Beach, Norfolk, Chesapeake, Portsmouth, Newport News, Hampton, Suffolk, whatever, Virginia, Moyock, North Carolina, Elizabeth City, North Carolina, like all around the area, and hit different points for 10 minutes. And one thing where I live, I've got the city, I've got the I've got traffic, but I've got country, I got farmland, you know, going down Carolina. Obviously there's they're building up a lot in Moyock, just the northern portion of North Carolina, northeast North Carolina. But you know, it's just wide open, you know, and I think that would be fun because it's fun to see like different places. I mean, I always like geek out about mountains, you know, like when spoke in the eye in Canada, like his typical commute and there's mountains everywhere. Randomly trees and his like the Blue Bonneville that I talk about, you know, before, but you know, just all the trees and just how like lively it looks and everything. And then here we have it's obviously the winter time, so the tree, you know, there's not a lot of, we have pine needles. That's pretty much it, the only thing on the trees. But let's see, Ben, I have commentary. It's 99.99% of the time it's expletive. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I bet. I've heard you a couple times. That's funny. Still count. Yeah, that's true. That's pretty good. I have heard you yell before, and I've rewound it and seen who you're yelling at, which is pretty funny. But yours is it's just it's whatever I guess it's the microphone on the actual like 360, so you can kind of hear that is pretty funny you bring that up because I have heard it and I've been like, wait, what do you say? And then look, and then the best part is I can look and see. I was joking. I think I was people watching the other day. You had a video, you pull up and I would like move over and look at the person in the car. It was pretty funny. I was looking at people in Australia that I'll never see, but that's not true. Australia's pretty badass. That would be pretty awesome. You got any places you can rent bikes over there? That would be pretty cool. Cruise around Virginia Beach, yeah. And Lucky Aces, so he, if I'm not mistaken, he lived in Norfolk. I'm pretty sure that's what he said. He lived in Norfolk, so he recognizes some of the sites. So, like going by the scope, the Hampton Coliseum, you know, certain bridges, the Jordan Bridge in Chesapeake, that's 187 feet up in the air. 167, 187. 167 feet. Either way, it's pretty high. I think 167 feet. I think. And I've been away from work for a month. I actually had to go there yesterday to get my turnout gear. And actually, I said yesterday. It was like after midnight. I went and got it. And they got new construction over there. It's funny when you haven't seen something for a month, how much it can actually change. Yeah, plenty of friends written Harleys. Yeah. Oh man, that's so dangerous for me. I've got an idea. Already got a video plan where I'm going to Bayside Harley in Portsmouth. But like, I don't know, man. Like renting a bike or test driving, the demo days. Like I've never gone to a demo day, and I think I want it to, but at the same time, I'm like, man, I don't know if I need to, because I love my motorcycle. It's also like, it's my high school sweetheart. It's the only thing I know. Put it that way. It is perfectly fine. Like there's nothing wrong with it, but I can only imagine like sitting on a much bigger bike. Yeah, that'd be dangerous. A 10-minute ride with no commentary would be awesome with raw sound of the bike. Yeah, I've seen other YouTubers do that. YouTubers, what? No, but I want to like dial in like the indie filter. I want to make it. I'm a nerd when it comes down to it. That's the other channel, the cinema, like photography and cinematography with having indie filters and getting the shutter speed right. And I want to get the audio right too. So I was thinking, I've heard people take like a recording device They wrap it in a towel or a t-shirt and they put it in, and I think Lucky was talking about that too. But they'll wrap it in, they'll put it in their book bag, they'll put it in their saddle bag, you know, and that'll be perfect. Because the one thing is I recorded it tonight. Today was, let me tell you what today did for me. I think I went to bed at 7 a.m., 8 a.m. this morning because my days and nights are flip-flop. So I got up, hashtag no kids. I got up at like 1 and then 2 and then 3. I got up, finally got up and let the dog out a couple or whatever. And yeah, I'm so like my vacation, I'm so backwards. The last 3 nights I've stayed up 3 nights in a row to go to bed at like between 7 in the morning and I think like 10 in the morning. Yeah, it's been bad. So and then tomorrow I gotta be there at 8. That's not bad. The fire department I get up at 5. So Friday I get up at 5. Friday. Tomorrow I'll get up at, I already got my gear, so I don't have to worry about it. I'll get up at 6:30, 7 o'clock, something like that. Probably 6:30 just to make sure I'm not rushing. I let the dog out and play with her and stuff. But what is that high? Oh, the Jordan Bridge. That's what I was talking about. 167 feet. I'm almost positive 167, not 187. 167. That's my final answer. Yep, 16 stories, almost 17 stories up. The Jordan Bridge, connecting Chesapeake and Portsmouth. So, what do I do? Oh, I filmed there the other. I say I filmed there. What video was that? Let's do this so I don't lose that. This is a picture of it. Moto Productions episodes. Yeah, this is it. Oh, I can actually. Oh, see, I'm telling you, I'm about to play this. I don't think we need sound, but this is. I can move this here. Oh, dramatic effect. I can actually play it. I'll play sound. Hopefully, I'm gonna bring it way down so it doesn't mess up anybody's eardrums. It should be fine. I think I got a limiter on it.
This was the first morning of my vacation.
Boom! First morning of the vacation.
Watching the sun,
and then I worked 3 days in a row. That's Jordan Bridge.
200 feet up in the air. It got me thinking about time and longevity. We talk a lot about upgrading, replacing, moving on, whether it's the camera equipment, audio fixes, and overall motorcycles. But there's something about riding the same bike long enough that it becomes part of your story.
Blah, blah, blah.
You keep something running, not because you have to, but because you want to. You never forget your first motorcycle. And sometimes the real goal isn't what you're riding next. It's how long you choose to enjoy the ride you're already on. This 2011 Honda Shadow 750 is my first motorcycle. And with the help of another motovlogger along the way, the idea of riding it to 100,000 miles stopped being a challenge and started feeling like a promise.
Bum, bum, bum. All right. Let me turn that off. Actually, I turned it way down, so you probably didn't hear much of it. But anyway, yeah. So that's the Jordan Bridge. That's part of it. You didn't get to see too much of it. If I do, is it? Yeah, this is. I think in the video you don't really see how high it is, but this is a better. Yeah, it's up there. Trust me. It's up there. People freak out about that. But the old Jordan Bridge used to raise like this, like that train trestle over there. Is my cursor working? It used to raise like that. But that was a while ago. I was still at the same fire station. What's up? All right. Let me catch up real quick. Plenty. Yeah, so renting is a bad idea for me. But yeah, that would be pretty awesome to be in Australia riding motorcycles or Harley Davidsons. And seeing and riding with Ben. Let's go. For one of your 15-minute rides, that turns into 3 hours, right? Tell my wife, I'll be right back. Yeah, 15, 20 minutes. All right. What do we got? 10-minute ride, no commentary. Yeah. Bridge. GC, there's a place down the road for me that rents out bikes. Yeah, I wonder how close. That'd be funny. Do a tour of Australia. See Ben, TC, South Oz Moto, and Indian Crusader. He would just yell at me though. He just yells all the time. Come on, come on. There's a place down the road for me that rents out bike. Loads of people do 1 to 2 weeks trip. Yeah, around Tasmania. Yeah, that'd be pretty awesome. To be honest with you, that's where man, I don't bugger about it. I really don't. I talk about it with y'all, but if my wife was into riding, that'd be awesome. I tried to get her into photography too, but she didn't. She's not gotten into that. But she was my model. I did take pictures of her in the backyard practicing that, so it was pretty cool. Let's see. Ben says, look up. Was it? Oh, okay. Hold on, let me look that up. Was it a challenge? Oh, I didn't look this up. Hold on. How you say it? Is it Posty? Is that how you say it? Am I saying it right? Posty bike? Yeah, when you're talking about the track, okay, Posty. Hopefully I'm saying it right. Posty bike challenge. Kilometers, what's that? Oh, so these are rides, right? The 2026 event is full. We've added a wait list and registration page. Oh yeah, okay. So you pretty much do like rides or something, right? I'm gonna look that up later. Interesting. Cool. I know there's some people that what was it? Her Two Wheels did it. Blockhead, I think, did it. I don't know if they were Indian or Harley, but they went overseas for a ride. If you're not into bigger bikes. Why you say that? Mike says, sit on a Road King. I miss my Shadow, but the Road King is so much better. It's not even close. Mike, the Road King Special. That's my top three. Top three bikes. The I don't like chrome, so that's why the Fat Boy has an issue. They had an anniversary edition that was all blacked out. It was pretty nice. But the Harley Fat Boy, not in this order, but Harley Fat Boy, Lowrider S, and then the Road King Special, just because it's blacked out. So I can only imagine, yeah, being on a Road King. That's the problem. The last time I went to the Harley dealership, and I'm not like, I don't care about brand. Like, I don't have brand loyalty, and I don't like, oh, I just saw Moto Alley. I got to skip because real quick. How's everyone not here for? Yeah, that's right. I knew you probably didn't pop out, so I gotta say hi. Playback King's here. Yeah. So say hi to you real quick, Moto Alley. Hope work's going all right for you, man. Make some money. If nothing else, you're making some money. But yeah, like I don't care what people ride. I don't care what I ride. I do love my bike because of what it's given me at this point. And the reliability aspect of it, always being able to ride. Although today, I know I already talked about, going and getting a new battery. I want to do it in person and all that stuff. But I found out today that I started the bike the other day in the garage and it worked just fine. Then I did what I needed to do for a thumbnail for the other channel and do some B-roll and stuff. And I started up and it didn't run today. Didn't work. Didn't turn over. Battery, of course, right? So the decline in my driveway is just enough that it didn't work the first time, but when I quickly got enough speed at the bottom, when I popped the clutch again, it worked. So bravo to the previous homeowners who had the house built and graded, and the people that graded the yard and everything, because it is the perfect incline. I didn't have to walk it all the way out of my neighborhood down the street and find which way went down and which way went up on pretty much a straight, even road with just a slight angle. So I'm pretty much unstoppable now, and I'm really good at starting a bike with a dead battery. But I can only imagine going back to it. Like, I'm going to go this summer because I already have an idea plan. But going back to the Harley Davidson dealership in Portsmouth, Bayside Harley, that's where I took the MSF course and everything. And man, it is leave your wallet outside. Don't do it. I accidentally went for the ride today and forgot my wallet, and that's exactly what I need to do. I was going to miss this live because I was going to go to jail for not having a license, a valid license, and a slightly expired inspection sticker. But that's besides the point. All right, catch up. Let's see where I'm at. Look at that. Sitting the Road King. Yeah, okay, that's where I'm at. All right, so now we're on the portion we're talking about the mics. Yeah, so I have oh, that's my battery charger. I've got the Neewer mics, Neewer, Neewer, or newer. I don't know. It's like people say Nikon and Nikon cameras. I don't know. So I'll just say newer mics, and I've got the DJI Mini 3s, and I even have one DJI mic Mini 2 or something. It came with a kit on something else that's not been brought up on this channel. There's a lot, like yeah, I'm done buying stuff. I keep saying that and I end up buying something else. But having that yeah, I want to see about putting where the TC is saying that. I'll just read it. It says, I have my wireless mic in a towel and a saddlebag, captures pretty decent exhaust audio. Yeah. And that's what I want to do. I think, well, yeah, you do your ride. That's duh. You do your riding videos too, and yours sound awesome. So that's what I think I want to do. And the fact that I have a saddlebag makes it easy. So the mic Mini 3s record internally. The 2 does not, I don't believe. And the newer mic, I guess that's probably how you say it, newer mics, they can return internally too. So I can literally I can have that pipe through to my, afterwards I can put it in post and sync it up to my GoPro. But I did it today, and I get wind noise that comes through my helmet and it hits the mic. And the mic I can't put I have 4, probably more now. I guess more. But all the dead cats that I have, they all fit on certain mics. The mic that I have that's wired is too big, so the opening won't fit. So it's just basically like the foam over here, over this mic. It's the same thing. So today's probably a bad example of it. I still might look at it and see what it's like. Lower rate of speed, it's not so bad. I was back roads coming home. Sunset time of day was awesome. So yeah, it's gonna, I might still do it, but it's gonna be fun because I'm gonna be able to, like, I want to practice that too with the audio. So dial it in with the indie filters, dial it in with the different lav mics, lapel mics, lavalier mics, whatever. And see how that goes. And I think I might have a dead cat that would fix to the microphone that I have in my helmet. I'm not sure. But yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. I just gotta see like which way sounds better and turn the gain up and down. So the good news is I have enough where I can try them all at once and then find the best one. Because I watched a guy he did a video where he put, I think he had the mic Mini 3, I'm thinking, but he put it in different places, like from his pocket to his book bag, inside, like with the magnet, underneath his seat. Like he put it all around the bike and let basically everybody hear it. And that's kind of one of the things, like maybe it's just like test it all, figure it out then. What time are we looking at? Okay. Ben says, I tried my wireless mic in the saddlebag, but the sound was horrible and muffled. Yeah, that's the only thing. Like, I got to try to figure out, because I'm wondering if the saddlebag and TC, if you put the saddlebag the opposite of the exhaust or with the exhaust, because it'd be pretty loud there. But then turning the gain down, and Ben, I don't know what mic you have, but the other thing is, if it's wrapped tight, I would imagine on the mic versus like wrap it so it doesn't move. The goal is like to not let it move. One guy I watched, he actually had his own, like, I had to unplug this for a second, but he basically had like a recording device that just recorded, right? It was, a professional recording device. And he put a shirt around it, and I think he put it in his book bag, and then had the microphone portion of it behind him, and then he would block the wind. So that's kind of how he did it, and it sounded really good. But I want to just, because not Ben, I'm sorry, TC, you use an ND filter, right? Is that correct? I would imagine you do on the bright sunny days you have there, because I want to try to make it not just a ride, but like I don't know. I kind of want to do. I want to find the best way to do it. That's for me personally, at least. Yeah, but if it's muffled, I guess it would be like it would have too much insulation or something. Insulated, whether it's wrapped in a towel. This is what I would think. Oh, geez. Yeah, there's some fighting. I was wondering where this was coming from because I skipped ahead and I saw the straight piped. I saw that comment before I saw TC. Yeah, watch one of his videos. You can hear it. That's awesome. Let's see. Oh, I was scrolled up. I thought it was at the end. I just realized I was up higher. All right. Moto Alley popped in. He's working. Oh, I said it right there. 3,500 kilometers, 2,200 miles. Jeez. Yeah, I saw the dates range from how long was that? I know it was booked, but what did I say? Oh, shoot. Go back. August 29th through the 9th of September. That's wild. Yeah. And it's on a Honda CT 110. Let's see. Actually, I guess I can pop that up. Let me put that in the so everybody can see. That's a good idea. No. Hold on. Nah, dude. No. No, man. This is the one I saw that was on. Oh, man. Let me share my screen. This is the one that Shade Tree had. Oh, man. 2,200 miles, 3,000 kilometers. Okay. Now you're going back to my old Honda Ruckus days. 49cc Gem. Oh, shoot. That's funny. All right. Where we... Now, I don't know if you're joking or not. Let me scroll ahead. Because you did say if you want a smaller bike. Yeah, pocket test yesterday wasn't too bad. Okay, so you get back into the sound. Indy 16 mostly. I got you, TC. Yeah, I have I'm learning about them because I've got them for the drones I have, the GoPro and the other camera that is yet to be named. I talked about it before, but they're all different numbers and I was like, well, what the heck? But it depends on the camera, the sensor and everything. So, yeah, the 16. So mine are what is it? 8, 16, 32. I thought I had 4. I think I'm missing one. What am I missing? Is this it? 4, 8, 16, 32. All right. That's for GoPro. And then they're different numbered for depending on the camera. So I don't think you're lying to me now. Those are in every Vietnam movie? Yeah. All right, and then TC says, I'm skipping ahead and I'm gonna go back. The exhaust side not wrapped tight. It's mainly so it doesn't rattle against anything else or move around inside the saddlebag. Yeah. It's a serious ride. You should know. We're built different down. Yeah, damn right, man. But you're talking to a guy that rode the Honda Ruckus, all right, to Lake Gaston. Oh man, turn a 4-hour trip into no 2-hour trip into 4 hours. Oh man, that's funny. Let me go back. That's good. That is definitely a smaller bike. That is definitely a smaller bike. All right, let me catch up. I'm not done with you yet, Ben. I'm coming back to you on that. Yeah, Delirium Pizzas. That's the perfect one. I mean, I did Uber Eats on the Honda Shadow, and on the back of it clearly is not flat. But that's a deal, man. I tell you, like I joke at work because they took applications for a bike team, and I was like, hold on a second, a bike team, and then someone said, yeah, they're gonna have motorcycles. I said, no, hold on. Obviously, the police and the sheriff's department have motorcycles, but I was like, hold on a second. I will go to paramedic school if it means I get to ride a motorcycle at work. But no, they meant bicycles. I was like, yeah, I'm out. No, thank you. Mm-mm. So, but yeah, to be able to ride a motorcycle and get paid for it, yeah. Yeah, that's it right there. All right. Posty bike. Am I saying it right? Posty? Posty bike? I've heard of pit bikes. That's what I had, like a Honda Ruckus. Posty bike. I've not heard of that. That's what I always say. Like, it's fun to ride a slow bike fast. It's not fun to ride a fast bike slow. So the Honda Ruckus, 49cc. Of course, that's a 110 you're talking about. Man, that's crazy. I keep looking at it. It would be fun to deliver pizza, though. They're bomb proof. Yeah, I bet. All right, let's see. TC, I got to that point where the exhaust side, not wrapped tight. It's mainly so it doesn't rattle against anything else and move around inside. Yeah. So I'm going to try it out. There's going to be a day where I just really need a day where now that I go back to sleeping at night, potentially, and being up during the day, I got to take the bike. I got to have a bunch of plans. I just don't know. I've got so much equipment that I have not used. I haven't tested that I just need to go out there. And like I said, like have all the mics in at the same time in a saddlebag and do it in the exhaust side and do it. I guess you got to turn the gain down, but you can look at that when you start the bike up. All right, I'm catching up. So then Ben said the hip pocket test yesterday wasn't too bad, so it's better than the muffling, but the quiet was too quiet. Okay. Going to try one in the back belt loop next ride. There you go. And that's what the guy did. He tried it. He put it in his pocket. I think he did the back of his back pocket. That's what he did. I think he did his back pocket, his front pocket, left, right, back side, all that, whatever. He wore it like inside his shirt, outside his shirt, as in like with the magnet. He went underneath the seat, took the seat off and did it. I mean, it was pretty cool. Let's see. Okay, now Ben, go back to there. It's a serious ride. You should know we're built different down here. You are built different down there for sure. By all those animals that you mammals that you have going on. The red kangaroo, I'll never forget it. But yeah, I took the Honda Ruckus, and it's funny. I mentioned in a comment, 49cc. It had 45 in the speedometer. You couldn't achieve 45 with my weight as well, but at 38, 42, like you would start to feel like it would like govern and keep you at bay. But what's cool about that bike is they lower and stretch them, and they put a different engine in them, and they end up going like 60 miles an hour. I've said it before, I wish I kept that bike just as a project bike. But now that I don't really worry about it's funny. I don't worry about my demise on a motorcycle, but if I were to go back to a Honda Ruckus, I would think about it potentially, because a motorcycle, you can get out of the way. And the funny thing is, the whole story about it, and I might have to revisit the topic on the channel since it was on the old channel. But getting the Honda Ruckus was because I didn't think my wife would want me to get a motorcycle, but she was okay with me getting the moped, the Honda Ruckus. So I rode that around, and a month later I was like, well, what do you think about getting a motorcycle? She goes, I'd rather you have a motorcycle than that thing that can't get out of anybody's way. Lower to the ground, can't defend yourself really. And then the rest was history. So I had it for a month, but I took it. So the trip I took with Lucky Aces riding, when he went up north, I went, southwest or whatever, to Roanoke Rapids. Just to the left, just west of that was Lake Gaston. So my buddy has, my captain, he sold it to my buddy. So I'll end up going there again, but he had a house there that I took the Ruckus there. It was a 4-hour trip. That's funny. Did it 4 hours there, 4 hours back, same day. And I spent more, I would joke, I spent more in McDonald's breakfast. Spent like $6 or something like that, $6 for breakfast. I spent more on breakfast than I did for gas there and back. I like gassing. 8 hours riding. All right. Put pizzas in the bags. Yeah, that'd be awesome. Ben, deliver food. I don't even care. I mean, I did it on the ruckus. I mean, I did it on the shadow. The difference was like Steven Two Wheels. I watch him do DoorDash. He's on the channel as far as like comments and stuff like that. He's got a book bag that he wears, and I wonder like man, I rigged it was so I think it was stupid. But I rigged like I had a video on how I built it. I essentially had bungee cords and two grill grates that were together, a bag on top, and I tied it all together. And then I tied it into, or I used the bungee cords, hooked it onto the saddlebag, the brackets for the saddlebag, and it was pretty good. It didn't move very much. I never spilled anything. And then I had access to the saddlebag so I could put drinks. That was the cool part, because the hardest part about delivering food is the drinks, and not like 2 liters or 20-ounce drinks, but like obviously like soda fountain drinks. All right, I think we saw the same video on the mic placement. Yeah, it was a good video. He put a lot of time in it. Just don't put your cans of monsters in the same saddlebag as your mic. Yeah, rattle around. Let's see. Moto Alley sent me. I saw it before, and he sent me again. I was like, oh yeah, I got to do it. But the guy essentially cut out. I think it was the bigger one. It might be this one actually. He cut this out, or maybe let's see, some part where he cut out. You can still see the monster logo, and he put it on the oil filter, and it slides right on. Pretty fun. I got to do it. All right, I think that's good. I'm caught up. I believe I'm caught up with everything. Let's dive back into my plan here. Turn this off. No, so that's no commentary. I think I'm gonna do that. I think that's one of those things, like going full circle, like in the fire department, being on the media team, and the email just came out today about making we're hiring next month. We're hiring. So make Instagram, Facebook Reels, Shorts, or whatever, YouTube Shorts. That's fine. It's not for this channel, but basically advertise that we're hiring and put things together and stuff like that. So, that was cool. Going back to the academy and helping out at the academy at different levels is like giving back, and my career coming full circle. Doing the advertising that we're hiring is another way on the media team that we're going, coming back full circle for the it's 20 years I've been there. And then the no commentary videos, which I know is not I mean, TC, like I said, TC doing it, been doing it that are here. Lucky Aces and countless others that aren't, I guess, part of the community or whatever that do it. But I think that would be neat, and to get people into riding, because it's kind of like a soft goal of mine is to get more people into riding. And I want to ramp. I got some ideas for when the spring comes for us, when the spring comes. And that's why I say I might release a video that's more, it's not all like rainbows and butterflies, it's not all like, just like, riding bikes and having fun doing all the other stuff, because you only see one side of it. People like me, when I talk about love riding and how I miss riding, if I haven't rode in a while, we've had bad weather, or the spring, comes through and everybody gets back on the bike and you see everybody riding. But it's also like the less talked about, portions of riding, which obviously are the incidents and stuff like that. So that's the video. I don't think I want to say it again. I may actually just re-upload that video, and I'll have something in the beginning where it'll say, this was, those have seen it, that you don't have to watch it. But this now that I've closed the book or closed the door on the other channel, nobody, there was no final video over there that says, hey, this is where I'm at. There's no finale on the firefighter channel that says, hey, I'm over. If you want to continue the journey, hey, I'm making videos, brand new channel, as far as no background with like Call of Duty or YouTube Shorts, blah, blah, whatever, everything I've posted over 15 years on that channel. There's no breadcrumbs that lead you here. So if anybody finds me here now, they likely would never have seen that video. GoPro versus Insta 360 fight. Oh, I was supposed to do this. Boom. Yep. So the next topic. So today I filmed, this is the cool thing. So the GoPro versus Insta 360 fight. Spoke in the eye. Moto. Oh, I got to say Moto at the end. Otherwise it's not your whole name. What's up? What's up? What's up? I say, I wish I could say good, good day without sounding like an idiot. It only sounds cool with an accent. Yeah, you're right. That's awesome. Welcome, man. Yeah, what's up? Glad you could. Oh, there you go. I see where I skipped ahead a little bit. Thanks for tuning in, man. I appreciate it. I talked about a couple Canadians. You're one of them. Actually, you and Moto Alley are the only Canadians I think I know. I think so. I'm pretty sure. Yeah. Just did a review on the helmet, the 2-year review with the helmet. So nice video, nice review. As far as the GoPro Insta 360 fight. So today was awesome for me as far as I was able to I filmed a video. I got what I needed, the B-roll for the other channel that I'm working on. I went for a ride on the bike and filmed the 360 GoPro battle where I put both of them on the handlebars. And in my true attention to detail, running out of time and all that stuff at sunlight, it was like 4:30 or something. Bike wouldn't start. Surprise, surprise. What do you have here? Let me put, you didn't hear this. It's not number 2. I was supposed to have this one popped already. Don't worry about it. I can quit anytime. I promise. I haven't finished this. Oh, I have a drinking problem. So I was able to film what I needed to film in the garage, finish what I needed to do in the man cave for that video afterwards, ride on the bike, do my GoPro versus 360 video, and do a no, and take everything off the handlebars and do a no commentary ride home. So I filmed and did a live tonight. So 4 things went down today, which is awesome, especially because of going to bed at 7, 8 o'clock in the morning, waking up at 3 or 4 o'clock in the afternoon, getting all that done with the sun going down. But I've got to the point where I have upgraded enough to where, because originally last year I bought the second GoPro, the 13, because the 360 was bugging me. The way I've mentioned it before, the 360 is fantastic. There's a video on it as far as I talk about the good things, how versatile it is, never miss a shot. But it bugs me it bugs me so much that when I edit the footage, I cannot get the GoPro and the 360 footage to look right. Color grade it, color correcting, color grading. I can't get it right. And other people can. Other people can. I can't. So with getting another camera that I mentioned before, the GoPro will essentially go to the handlebars that it already is. I got another action camera that I'm going to try out. And it's more so where I want to test it out in low light. And the 360, what bugs me the most about the 360 is the color is one thing, because when you go from that being a second camera, it's fantastic, and I mentioned in the video, it's fantastic. Like if you're just starting out, or you just want one camera, it literally does everything. You can put it on your handlebars and it will get your shot in front of you. It will get your shot to the left, to the right, above. It takes away where I have a 2-camera system, essentially my GoPro on my helmet, my GoPro on the handlebars facing me and facing forward. And then if I want to look left or right to capture something, I'm going to physically have to move my head left and right. That GoPro will do it, or excuse me, that 360 will do it all. So I always say, like, the 360, it has a place, but I've even used it on the side where I put it on a tripod and let it sit there. And it gets everything I'm working on in the garage, in the parking lot, when I was working on a thumbnail, shooting a thumbnail and stuff like that. Hooked up my lav mic to it and everything. I mean, it's great, but I can't get over the fact that, like, when I watch it, the sharpness is just not there. And where I am, or my eye is, like, I will look, even though you're supposed to look, like, if I'm talking, typically you've been looking at me. When I start editing, I look at the trees I'm passing, and the sharpness of the leaves of the tree are just like, it's just basically like a mesh, and I can't get over it. So it's time to downsize. It's time to get rid of some stuff. If I'm going to acquire more stuff, and this is just going to collect dust, I got to move on. So I talk about the good. I don't just beat the hell out of it. I talk about why it's not good for me, but why it's fantastic, and it has its place, it has its purpose. So I'll never, like, badmouth it as far as that. but for what I'm trying to do, what I'm working with, I want to shoot everything, and I'll have the ability now where I can shoot everything in a log format. And what that is, whether it's D log or M log, depending on the camera and the company, it basically takes the color and flushes it, and it adds more detail. It's almost like shooting in RAW, where you get more higher dynamic range, you get more detail with the colors, the information, and then you can grade it all together. So the GoPro and the drone are shot in log, and then you can kind of like make them look identical. And so you don't go from one scene where everything's vivid and nice and vivid and vibrant to the next scene where everything's kind of more dull. And I know there's different, you know, and I didn't do the ND filter. I didn't want to put any more money into it. I think that it overall, it's just the fact that the sensor is a certain sensor size, and it gets destroyed in low light conditions because it has to do 360 degrees. So, and I know it could shoot one way too, because you can make the GoPro, or you can make the Insta 360 just shoot straight and not that sounds funny, just only one sensor be on. But the whole purpose of having a 360 is that the ability to never miss a shot. And one thing that was cool was I was talking about the last video, I was talking about the semi truck that was passing me as I was riding down the interstate or the highway, and I was able to get that 45 instead of just me and forward. I didn't have to turn my head and look. I could talk about the semi truck and have a 45-degree angle on that semi truck. So I'm telling you, like the 360, like I'll never like badmouth it when it comes down to like the capabilities and what it can do, and it literally can be your one camera fits all. It just, for me, it was too jarring the way I like to edit my videos and going forward. So I need to get some of that scratch back. I need to get some of that money back. All right. The X5 is infinitely better than X4, as you saw from the screenshot I shared from the other day. Yes. So the X5, so we talked about it briefly, and I did some research on it. The X4 and X5, the sensor size is the same, but the processing is better. The technology is better on the X5 than it is the X4, which you would think, you know, being a newer model. So the X5 is better, and I should have I did say it in the video, but I have the X4, and like I said, it's great at what it does, and we'll leave it at that. But the X5 is better than the X4. Yes, absolutely. Whew. I think we got into it last live because we were talking about getting it's a different mic, not the same mic, right? There's two mics. The mic here, and there was a mic, Michael Ramirez. Two different people, right? Mike, correct? Two mics. Okay. But he was talking about which camera you should get, and that's why I started diving into this and kind of just to put that one to bed. Be done with it. Okay. That's the GoPro in the 360. And the last topic that I had was podcast. All right, and I had pulled up. Let me go back to it. So another reason why I deleted, I didn't make them private. I deleted them, and I was gonna screen grab the comments in case I ever needed to port those over for like videos, and I was like, nah, you know, it's a good thing, but it would take way too much time to do that 134 videos and capture everybody's comment and all that other stuff. So I just went ahead and I got to get the lives off there. There's still some lives on the firefighter channel that I got to get rid of, but I got to download them first, and then I'll get rid of that, and then the channel will be barren after that. And I still use it because that's literally how I've got premium attached to it. And it's so cool now that when I pull up the Fire Moto channel or the YouTube account, I guess it's better. It's just, I think I talked about this last time. It's just motorcycle. It's just motovlogs. If I pull up the photography channel, it's just photography, videography, whatever. It's cool. And then firefighters just a mix of everything or whatever, because obviously it caters to, for you, what you would be into. But I literally only watch motovlogs or motorcycle videos and maybe a little bit of action cameras, which I even stopped on that. I just put those on the firefighter account. And that's a lot of fun just to be able to see that. And I don't miss anything either from people that make videos part of this community and all that. So that's good. But another reason why I want to get rid of this is because I did the in-person um, podcast with Lucky Aces riding. I did that with the 360. See, another reason it was good. And I brought that up in the video, but I could put it at a 45 and get both of us and then isolate it to just one if I needed to go back and forth and stuff. So it actually, I mean, it's a good camera. It definitely had the functionality outweighs a lot. But anyway, we're done with that topic. Moving on. See, there you go. But I wanted to get rid of all the other videos because I want to port the two podcasts I had before, and I mentioned this before, that I want to do my goal initially, and it's not really a goal. It was kind of like a soft goal, I guess, in a way. But I didn't want to be known just last year when I started doing it. I don't want to just interview people, but I wanted it to be another like wrinkle to the channel. And have like every quarter or something like that, every 3 months or maybe every 4 months or something, have like a podcast, have like an interview and have somebody be able to tell their story and stuff. And I got to the point, I just got to call it a podcast. I can't call it an interview because when I start to do like an interview, I end up like adding onto the conversation, and that's a podcast. So just like these no commentary videos, I can't shut up. So I get excited and I want to talk, and so I just start blabbering and all that stuff. So from all 3 episodes, no more interviews. They're just podcasts from now on. But I want to port those podcasts over, and I have to go through. I haven't gone through them and listened to them or anything, but I know that they've changed a lot because Restless Mule was the first one. He was in January last year, so going on 13 months ago. I think trying to think. I know we started talking about November of 2024, but it aired on January. It aired in January 25. So I want to bring that over, but I also want to have like a slide in the beginning or something. Originally aired January. I got to figure out the date. I think it was like, anyway, it was January of 2025. So things have changed, but what hasn't changed, like the bike, I think he has a different bike now. And so I think it's important to say, like, hey, when this originally was aired, but also like it talks about his history as far as getting into riding. When he started riding, then he went 10 years where he stopped riding, and then he got back into riding, And I want to, I think that that's still relevant. So although there's some stuff like now, fast forward 3 months later, at least 3 months later, Moto Alley had the second podcast, which on this channel, it looked like Lucky was the first one, Restless was number 2, and then number 3 was Moto Alley. But it's, obviously time-wise is backwards. But anyway, so Moto Alley comes through, and he had a metal printing shop that he used to do. He doesn't do that anymore. He's since been involved in more about photography, and that's taken over like the metal prints, but still. It's still the same story. It's still the same history. So the information might not be up to date, and that's why I want to preference that this was originally aired in whatever, May or something, whatever it was. I had to go back and look. So going back to it, man, what a difference a year makes, right? So I have this. Let's see. This is funny. This is funny. This is going backwards.
Just like no other episode.
So this was like the first. This is episode 99.
And then like, how do you do that? Your bathroom, obviously, you walk through the Harley Davidson.
So I plan on like changing. I'll probably change this to Fire Moto or something. I may just leave it. I'll probably just leave it, to be honest with you, just because, like I said, it's history. I don't want to really change too much of it.
Not even tell their story.
But this was, to me, this was awesome to be able to do. Let me turn it up a little bit.
YouTube has taken me, or this channel,
probably a little louder,
and I'll let you speak for yourself. Has taken me to a
And
Yeah,
like,
I don't know.
guy.
I
But,
just
and you
I think that these are important, and well, I know they're important, but what I mean by that is I want to be able to have them on this channel, the library of this, and I got Moto Alleys too, so I got to embarrass him. That was episode 99, and then episode 112 was Moto Alley.
Welcome back to another edition of Beyond the Ride.
Yeah.
Today we have this, and I'll be good to go. Emu
He says something about, here you go, Canadians. Because this is when the free version ran out.
And the other thing is my camera will shut off.
Let me turn this down.
So I have to hit the.
We'll talk about the Canadian geese.
If I do see it in that I was like be the next victim.
Oh, drinking the monster. Big monsters back then.
Somebody down to your body.
Motorcycles recording about the monster down. Oh, I lost you.
I'll come back.
The last fourth Timu Valley. Okay, it's now.
I can't find it. I was gonna try to find it real quick, but I turned that duck, the mallard duck, into a Canadian Canadian goose.
So
Canadian goose. Yeah, you can have those. Let me bring back here. So that's my goal. I want to do that. I think the other thing is not mentioned is like I said, I'm going back to work. Going back to work once again. Feel bad for me, but I'm going back to work on Friday, and the Mayday tomorrow, the Mayday overtime class I'm going to is a train to trainer. So we're going to do a lot of in-service. There's going to be in-service for the fire department where you're not teaching the recruits, you're teaching the incumbents something. I don't even know what it is yet. Tomorrow's a training for how we're going to train or teach people. So I signed up for a bunch of those days. I think signed up for 7, and I think I got 5 days. There's like 3 media team days overtime, and then obviously the regular 56-hour work week that we work. So this like next month and a half, where are we at? Month and a half. Yeah, this next month and a half is gonna be like extremely busy. So I'm gonna go from making a bunch of videos to now, like, I probably have one of these go live, test the waters for the no commentary video, and then I don't know, maybe make a couple videos here and there, which I already have one, which is a 360 and the GoPro. But it is gonna be, yeah, Cobra chicken. Yeah, get rid of them. Golly, man. All they do is poop. That's all they do. Take them back, Canada. So anyway, it's going to be busy. It's going to be busy. So I don't know. But I'll be back in 3 weeks. I'll be back here doing lives. So that's not going to change because I'll still have the Wednesday in 3 weeks. I'll still have from 8 o'clock at night. Obviously, I'll be fine. I won't be working. I won't be doing any overtime. I might be tired, but I'll be here. So, what day is that? Let's see. 3 weeks from today. Oh, yeah, so the day before. Yeah, the 4th, March 4th. Yeah, I don't see anything on there. My wife's working. She's working overtime. Oh, well. All right. I think, well, that's all my, and I always go back to it. Let's see. Let me get rid of, don't take it the wrong way, Moto Alley, but I had to X you out to get back to this. All right. So once again, if anybody wants to do any interviews or anything like that, there's my email address. Welcome to set something else up. I've got the next 2, really, I guess, like next 6 months. So it's not anytime soon, but the next 6 months, like I said, between the first quarter will be Restless Mule, and then Moto Alley. I'll re-air that, but that's my email. I'm gonna get back into that. Anybody else got anything else? Any questions? Any comments? Anything like that? Canadian geese. Yep, they got to go. My dog scared him away the last go around, so I'm good with that. Spoked in the eye pops up. Yeah. What is this? Canadian geese. Yeah. I guess they all left. Maybe they all left. I guess you just call them geese, right? Just like Mexican food. What do they call it? They call it food. Mexicans just call it food. Yeah, they're just geese to you. They poop everywhere. They poop everywhere. Anyway, that's all I got. That's all I have. I thank you all very much for being a part of another live, I will deem it successful because the audio worked. Everything was fine, I guess, for the most part. I was able to show some videos and pictures on the computer, the laptop, so it's getting better. It's actually, if you don't know me, it almost appears flawless, but like I said, all the issues and the kinks that I've worked out on the other channel that had 130 some odd, 150 something videos, some of them weren't numbered, and 11 or 12 lives. So yes, we're rocking it out. But I'm gonna actually probably just go back and edit the ride that I had today and go to sleep, even after drinking Monster, because I can. Hey, I hope you all are doing well. Get some nice weather, nice riding weather, not too hot, not too cold. And once again, I appreciate y'all being a part of this. And I will see you on the next episode or the next live. So thank you again very much. And calling it a night. Y'all take care.